Alright, the way you shade in your sphere, or your circle to make it look like a sphere, is you'll start out and you need to figure out where your light is going to come from. So if you want it to come from the right, then your full light will be right here. If you want it to come from the left, your full light will be right here. So I think I'm going to do mine from the right. So I'm going to start out and I'm just going to lightly draw a circle where I want my full light to be. And then to make it look like a sphere, the way you're going to draw your values is going to kind of be like these oval type shapes, like that. The reason why you do that is then it makes it look like this line is going around the sphere instead of just another circle inside the circle. So once you have these basic ovals drawn, you can start with your mid-tone. And again, I like to add or start with the very middle gray on everything. That way, if I make it too dark or too light, it's easy to fix it. And I'm going to go pretty fast with this so you can make yours look better. Alright, so I've got my mid-gray kind of down everywhere. Now I'm going to start darkening first. So for your sphere, the farther away it gets from the light, the darker it's going to get. So these circles that I drew are going to gradually get darker and darker. And so then your darkest is going to end up being down here. So I kind of like to map out where my values are going to go first before I start really blending and shading and making the value exactly the shade I want it to be. Okay? And so I know I want dark gray next. And then I've got my mid-gray and light grays up here. Alright, and at this point I would start going over again with another layer, slowly making it darker in the darker areas. And this is just like the boxes up here. If you want it to end up looking smooth, then if you shade in different directions instead of just one direction, it will make it look more even and more smooth. Okay, so I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm also bringing up these dark values up here to the top right, and that will just show that the sphere is curving backwards instead of being flat. Alright, and at this point, this is when I would maybe blend in a little bit with my finger, just to kind of start getting it to be a little bit smoother. You don't have to do it a whole lot, just a little bit. And so, since I did that, now I notice that my dark is not nearly dark enough, so I will go back over it again. Slowly making it darker. And I expect you guys to spend a little bit more time on it. Try to make it look a little better than this. This is kind of sloppy. Alright, So I've got my basic values down. I've got my full light where it's all white. I kept it all white. And then I'm slowly getting to the light gray, and then the mid gray, and then the dark gray, and then the black. And then this tiny little piece right here on the bottom is going to be your dark gray, or actually light gray, excuse me. And that's the reflected light that's coming from the table, or whatever the object is sitting on. So that's why I kept that little piece there. And if you're going along and you feel like you made your grays a little bit too dark, which I think I did, then just go and erase it. And then you can just blend in like this. Make sure you keep that all white spot. And then so that is the sphere. And now to make it look like it's actually sitting on this table, you want to add a shadow. And so since my light is coming from the top right, my shadow is going to be on the left. And so you just want to kind of follow the edge of your sphere already. Just kind of block it in where you want your shadow. And then the same idea applies, going from dark to light, except this time the darkest part will be up against the sphere, like this. And then it will slowly get lighter the farther away it gets from the ball. And again, this is pretty fast. You will spend more time on it. But this is the general idea on how to make a circle look like a sphere.